Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 290 of the No Clip 2 cast. We got a full crew here. We got a bunch of games to talk about. New games, old games, cardboard box, Chris Nolan movies, modding Wii's. There's a lot. There's a lot going on here. How are we all doing? No Caps, what's going on with you? How was your weekend?
Good. I didn't get to go to the beach because it rained and the air quality was bad, but hoping to get to the beach this weekend.
You getting nasty air down there too? That's wild.
Yeah,
well,
it was really
people don't
bad.
know where you are, but you know,
Friday, yeah.
All that. We got all those we got to tax those Canadians because of all the smoke. That's what we're doing now these days.
Yeah.
Climate justice, Jeremy Jane. What climate justice would you like to see in the world?
Oh boy, some Final Fantasy VII style. Just like a handful of people going into like some sort of unjust infrastructure and blowing it up. No, it's a joke. If anyone is like clocking that, that's
FBI.
parody.
He's not. He's talking. I gave him an unfair question, and he couldn't.
I was set up.
His revolutionary cockles couldn't help but rise to the occasion. So you know that's what's going to happen. Frank, what's the most illegal thing you've done that you can't get in trouble for by saying on a podcast right now?
I don't know. I mean, there's always like, you know, like the piracy is like doesn't even feel like a crime. I don't know. I'm pretty straightforward.
Straightforward guy.
Yeah, I did. Oh yeah, I did like. I don't know. I feel like when I was a kid or a teenager, like property destruction, but like mischievous jackass type stuff, like, you know, breaking light bulbs and stuff. Just you know, jerk junior high behavior.
That'll do it. Yeah, we smashed up an abandoned car once. That was fun. Felt like it was in a car park, so that felt a bit weird. Like someone's going to come pick this up, and a homeless guy had been living in it for a while, and he pissed all over it, and we already had some of the windows smashed out, so we just finished the job.
Yeah, it was like a Street Fighter bonus stage.
Exactly. Yeah, we had BMXs and skateboards, so the lads were like grinding on and doing jumps off the top of it and stuff. It was pretty cool. So yeah, you gotta do it. You gotta do it, folks. You got to do it. That's what we're telling you. That's your homework for this week on Fight Club. Go out and start a fight and lose it.
And smash it.
Smash a car, exactly. Madness. Thank you again to all of our incredible patrons. We're coming up on our 10-year anniversary celebrations, which will be starting August 12th, a full month before September 12th, which is, of course, our birthday, when No Clip turns 10 years old. 10 years. Thanks to all of you patrons who have managed to keep us running throughout some times, some difficult times, some slightly less difficult times, always somewhat difficult, I'll say. Not many easy times. I guess COVID, we couldn't fly anywhere, but that was just difficult for completely unrelated reasons. Like, how the hell are we going to turn Zoom calls into documentaries? Well, we figured it out. We always figure it out. So massive thanks to everyone over at patreon.com/noclip and patreon.com/noclip2. We have some very interesting Noclip2 bonuses coming as well in that month window. So we'll be doing a bunch of stuff for the month. So keep your ears and eyes peeled for all that stuff. And of course, a massive shout out to all of our Battle Pass holders. Large Double, Charles Atkinson, Brian Baru, Yush, Dwayne the Rock Lobster, Anthony Thomas, Nico Passateri, It's a Me Ferrario, Senator Armstrong, Reed Redge, Harry Flanagan, The Other Wes, Arno, Matt Pearson, Mark Rojas, Quote, Tucker Morgan, David McGarry, Goddison, Sven Hooster, Pez, Bone Mold, John Akers, Tim Robinson, Forrest Pruitt, Dark Insanities, Eric Hamilton Schneider, Christoph Fatui, Grizzly Mug, Cameron Laird, Zachary Snader, Alex Goucher, George Sakotis, Jacob Godserve, Enthea Jen, James Med, and Ryson. Those are the folks. We love those folks. Give me a second. I want to talk about movies for just a second. I saw The Odyssey. I went to see some Chris Nolan shenanigans. Any of you guys seen it? We're not going to spoil it here. Don't worry. I'm not going to spoil a 3,000-year-old Homeric text. Does he get home?
Does he fight the suitors?
Hey, you know, you can't spell Homer without home.
That's true. You can't spell Odysseus without Odyssey. Well, you kind of can.
You kind of can, but if you squint, there's a lot of Y's and S's.
There's a lot of similar letters.
It's hard to spell Odyssey. I feel like every time I go to it, I'm like, I don't know. There's not enough S's. Too many S's? Not enough Y's?
All I can think is Odyssey now because my brain has been ruined by internet.
What's Odosi?
Let's not get into it. Let's tell me about the movie.
Is this like the sort of the JD Vance weird guy version of the Odyssey or something?
No, just like people put the suffix "ussy" on everything, and I
never
realized
very good. Okay, I got it.
Close enough to count.
I got it. Well, there's not enough women in that story that are, they're all just agents of a man's desire. Or
what's the Bechdel test results on the Odyssey?
The Bechdel test for the Odyssey. In fairness, it was written, who knows? Maybe the women who were speaking it, who were sharing it through language before it was originally written down. Maybe they threw in a couple. Maybe Cersei was a guy for a while, and they were like, bullshit. Cersei's a lady. Who knows? Have any of you seen it?
Nope.
No? Cool. Jeremy Jane, notable Chris Nolan hater. Are you going to go see The Odyssey?
I'm a Chris Nolan. I'm an active Chris Nolan scholar of sorts. Okay. I've seen like a shit ton of his movies, and I've enjoyed many of them.
Have you seen Following? I've never seen Following.
Following? No.
That's his first one. Apparently, it's not amazing. It's like fine.
I've never even heard of this.
It's like a black and white movie where a guy follows people in the street. Frank's nodding. Have you seen it?
Like both him and Darren Aronofsky, like both their first movies are like basically the same thing. Just like paranoid guys, black and white, running around.
Pi.
This is like the Pi for Nolan?
Yeah.
Okay, Pi was like kind of fun actually.
Pi's all right.
Like a couple years ago for the first time. I mean, it's like it's not a satisfyingly resolved movie, but it's an interesting like guy losing his fucking mind movie.
Yeah. I think Pi might be more well thought of than Following, perhaps. But then Memento is next. So
Memento's good. See, that might be the best Chris Nolan movie.
Might be. I think he co-wrote that one with his brother, right? Yeah. See, I think people don't like when he writes on his. Some people don't like, and it's fun. Like I get it. Like I rewatched Tenet last night. I love Tenet. It's such a fun, silly movie, but it is also just like some of the most obvious exposition you've ever. But like you kind of need it because the movie is just a mind fuck of like what is going on. And also, it was fun to remember filming the Disco Elysium documentary while we were bouncing around Tallinn. What is your favorite Chris Nolan movie, Jeremy?
Probably Memento. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have like a soft spot for the Nolan Batman movies, but I don't know if they hold up. I never saw the one with Bane.
I think that holds up the least of the three. The
I'm
Dark Knight Rises. Right?
Yeah, Memento probably. The Prestige is kind of a fun movie. Here's the thing.
Prestige. I love The Prestige.
Chris Nolan movies are like, you see them when you're like 17, you're like, whoa, that was like a great piece of cinema. And then you revisit when you're like 32 and you're like, this isn't as smart as I thought it was. This is like, I feel kind of dumb for thinking this was a really smart movie.
I think he makes very accessible movies. Like to me, they have the sort of artifice of like high art, you know what I mean? Like the scripts are sort of wordy, and the actors in it are generally really good actors. It's they're not like action movie actors, but they're kind of action movies. Like they're plot heavy, which I think helps. Like they're somewhat complex. I think Christopher Nolan movies kind of say more about the rest of movies than they do about his. Like in a way, he's just making movies like movies used to be, like Indiana Jones and Star Wars, and and it's like everyone else who's turned to shit, and he's just like, how about we make the Odyssey? We made Ben-Hur was a thing. Let's go back and make an old movie and film it.
Yeah, it's funny.
Cool places.
It's almost like
he's so pretentious.
He makes like he almost makes like slightly less good Spielberg movies that are pretending they're Kubrick movies.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with how they're shot and cut, probably. Too as well. Like, what's his DP's name? I always forget that guy's Hoyte, I think his name is.
I forget actually. Yeah,
it's like a Dutch guy, I think. Hoyte something. And I forget the name of the woman who edits. She edited this and Tenet, and I think maybe Inception, and obviously his his partner produces them as well. They have it's like I bet he has like a crew of people who are like, who've worked on like 6 or 7 movies with him, and they're like really dialed in. You know what I mean?
Okay, so his cinematographer, Hoyte van Hoytema, this guy, I'm going to post this in Snapchat for you guys. This guy looks like a character from What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, I know what he looks like.
I mean that as a compliment.
Yeah, he needs to be that. He needs to look like that to carry that fucking IMAX around.
He looks cool as shit.
Do you know the cartridge has only like 3 minutes of footage in it?
Yeah.
I did not realize that. I knew they were big and heavy and loud. I didn't know 3 minutes. Could you imagine? Like what imagine we were doing documentaries. We'd go through like 400 cartridges a day, and it would be the worst interview you ever heard because we had to stop every 3. Imagine who'd be the worst person. There are some people who give long answers. Like who would be the worst person to interview with a 3-minute cart? We'd be like, just wait a second. We've got to. I'm trying to think who gives.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who was very, like, there's some interviews we've done that are so autonomous where you just are kind of like, so, like, tell me about this. And then 20 minutes later, you have a third of a documentary.
Oh, Ralph Koster then.
Yeah, Ralph Koster would be tough because he would be in the middle of, like, this gem of knowledge. And he'd be like, can you just, like, stop for a minute?
I'm trying to think. Kasavin doesn't give long answers. He just gives, he gives answers that are tough to edit, which is a different thing. But they're very good answers. I'm trying to think. I feel like there's 1 or 2 bad boys that we've had over the years who have been like particularly wordy. Who knows? It doesn't care. Frank, what's your favorite? It doesn't care. Is that what I said? It doesn't care.
It doesn't
just
care.
talk about myself in the third
lotion
person.
on its skin.
It does. It puts lotion. And then it doesn't care. Frank, what's your favorite Chris Nolan movie?
I mean, I really loved Inception, but I never rewatched it. I feel like I've seen Dark Knight like 5 times, but I like all his movies. It's always like, it's weird to say, it's always kind of annoying when every time a Nolan movie comes out and everyone just hops on the internet and it's like, he fucking makes great shit. I don't know. Like, I'm excited to see The Odyssey. Zendaya's in it, right? Is that true? Okay, see, I'm very excited.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah,
it's good. I adored it. I loved it. I didn't see it in 70mm, but I saw it in IMAX. They put a laser IMAX in our local cinema, and it's like pretty good. It's a big screen. It's not a massive room. It's like maybe 60, but it was big, and the sound was system, and it was great. And I was looking at like going down to San Francisco to the Metreon to see the 70mm, and I guess there's one in Dublin as well in the East Bay. But I was looking at like 3 a.m. tickets a week from the day, and they were like sold out basically. Like unless you want the front row, which is
the IMAX theater in the North Shore, north of Boston. Do you guys know about the Jordan's Furniture IMAX?
No, it's in an old Jordan's Furniture warehouse.
It's like a Jordan's
Or
Furniture
shop?
superstore.
Oh
It's
my
like
God.
It's like if IKEA stepped up their game and was less of a warehouse and more of like a showroom, like a car showroom for furniture.
Right.
That's like this mega structure, and ensconced in it is a fucking IMAX theater.
Whoa. So wait, this wasn't an old furniture store that they turned into an IMAX.
No,
There's an
no.
IMAX inside of the furniture store.
And there's a Fuddruckers.
Or do they really just want to get people? Like, do the furniture people run the IMAX? It's like a way to get people in the door, and they'll sell you a fucking end table while you're there.
I think it's more like the sucker fish that hang onto a shark and they like eat the scum off of it. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a symbiotic relationship.
Who's the sucker fish?
Definitely the furniture store. Because like, I think people are going. They're like, we got to see fucking the Odyssey, dude. And then they're like, you've been looking. You need a love seat for that room. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like,
you're on the way out, and there's like, check out this garden furniture of this big Trojan horse.
Yeah.
You want this thing?
They should have
cool.
themed furniture there.
Put some Greek helmets, some Mesopotamian helmets in your in your house, like a bookend or something. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
No Caps, what's your favorite Chris Nolan movie? Have you dabbled in the have you danced in the forest of Nolan?
I didn't know I had until you were naming movies, but I saw Memento for a film class. That was definitely one of the better movies we saw.
Nice.
I like Dark Knight too, but
I like Dark Knight. There's Interstellar. There's
I haven't seen that.
what have we
I've seen
not mentioned?
Inception. I don't even remember that movie honestly.
Inception. The Prestige is very good. If you haven't seen The Prestige, that's a great first time watch. It's also a good second time watch because it's got some secrets in there. It's also got David Bowie, which is pretty cool. So that's a good time. What else? Dunkirk. I enjoyed Dunkirk. That's a pretty strong movie, you know. Oppenheimer. I rewatched that as well. I went on a bit of a Nolan binge after I got back from the Odyssey. And I was like, did I like Oppenheimer? And I went back and watched it and I was like, oh, this is like 10 times better than I remembered it. Like it's one of the best edited movies ever. It's just like the pace is completely nonstop, which I think is part of the theme of this like impending future that you cannot sort of escape from. The only thing I don't like about it is the shitty explosion. I remember I watched it in the IMAX in LA. I forget why I was down there, probably filming something, and I had an afternoon off and I went to watch it in an IMAX, the IMAX just down the road from LAX. You know, it's just east by the football stadium, and the explosion is obviously gasoline. Like if you know anything about explosions, and like they build up to it for such a long time, the Trinity test, and you see it, and I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Like that because he didn't want to do it. He wanted to do it in camera, and I was like, dude, that doesn't look like a nuclear blast. Like a nuclear blast is like a fucking instantaneous, like emergent, like fucking like explosion shockwave, and this is just like it's like a fucking, I don't know, like a shitty explosion.
I would have thought Christopher Nolan would have been like, we have to build a real nuke and drop it on some island somewhere.
Yeah, let's get back to what's that?
Bikini Atoll.
Exactly, the Bikini Atoll. Let's go back and do it. Let's go to where the what was the big one called? The Tsar Bomba.
Remember that? God, I haven't heard that phrase in a long time.
That's like when you look at like, because now they're talking about like tactical nukes, like, oh, like these days nuclear bombs aren't as big as the one that hit Hiroshima and all this sort of stuff. And then you go back and watch like YouTube videos comparing the size of nuclear blasts, and they stick Tsar Bomba in there, and you're like, Jesus, like the epicenter of it is basically like the size of all of Los Angeles. Like, you know what I mean? Like it would have basically eradicated an entire city, would have been leveled. Like it's not even like, you know, oh, a blast in the middle and then everyone else gets irradiated and it's awful and we'll rebuild this in, you know, 30 years and the humanity. This is like it's like dark magic. It's like it makes me talk flippantly about a regular nuke because I've seen what Tsar Bomba can do, and I guess they stopped making bombs that big.
They don't make them like they used to.
Apparently, they could feel like the earthquake from it, like 500 miles away or something. It was like just absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, go check out the Odyssey if you want to see Tsar Bomba. There we go. There's my spoiler. They somehow got Odysseus traveled to the future and came back. It's the original Back to the Future, actually. Back to the Future is based on the Odyssey, actually. But instead of Armenians chasing after him, it was Russians because he stole the Tsar Bomba. Were they Armenians? Where were they from again?
In Back to the Future?
Yeah. Do you remember at the start, the guys in the car who were shooting at him?
Bosnians or something?
Yeah. It's definitely like a sort of an 80s era like European.
Rambo-esque. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, it's these guys.
They're Libyan.
They're Libyans. They're Libyans. Yeah. It's like we don't have beef with. Nobody has beef with Libya at the. Well, I mean that's what nobody in the West or outside of the imperial American project.
I will say the parking lot where the Libyans show up, that is the same parking lot that the Round One from my DDR documentary is in. So the Puente,
you're kidding me.
The Puente Hills Mall where I've interviewed like Kamikaze and other friends, like that's the same Back to the Future mall. So you can go to that parking lot, it's still there. And the Libyans are just around.
Look out for the terrorists.
There's a great Libyan restaurant there now. You should check it out. Their couscous. I don't know what Libyan food is. I should probably know that. Oh man. Anyway, that's our Christopher Nolan movie minute, sponsored by Christopher Nolan. Use the product code
Tsar Bomba.
Tsar Bomba to get 50% off your. Have you seen the popcorn buckets? Did we talk about that already? Did you see those, Jeremy?
I saw the ones for the Grogu movie. Are they the same ones?
No, they have an IMAX camera that you can look through, and it has like a frame from the movie in it.
See
and
this,
you see it? Did you see the horse?
I think I saw your post about it, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
I posted a picture of the Trojan horse one, which is like Nolan's Trojan horse isn't like a, like the sort of one that we learn about in when we hear telling of that story looks like a roller skate, right? It's just like a horse on wheels that they push in. His one isn't, right? It's like buried in the sand. So it's like, but it's like standing upright. And I was like trying to figure out where the fucking popcorn goes in. Like, where's they pop the head off? What is it? And then someone else, who was it? Chris Grant or somebody, some journalist, game journalist online, Blue Sky, posted a picture of it, and the popcorn comes out of the trap at the bottom. Like it's unusable.
That's awesome.
You cannot get back. Like to load that thing full of popcorn would take so long, and then it would be like impossible to. You'd be like rubbing the bottom of this hole in the app. I love it. I love that we have crossed into. They've just embraced how stupid those popcorn buckets are.
How much do they cost?
They weren't as crazy as I thought. I think it was maybe like $20 or something. Like,
I would expect it to be like $50.
Yeah, it wasn't. Maybe it was because like regular popcorn's like $12-15. So maybe it was 30, 35. But it wasn't. I was expecting that too. I was expecting, these are collector's items. They're trying to rinse people with them. But like, I mean, that's a lot of money to spend on a useless item, but like, I think you get the popcorn refills, which you'll need because it's not a very large. I mean, it's a large horse, but there's just not much surface area for popcorn in there, really. Or Trojans, or sorry, not Trojans, or Greeks. Weren't they? Well, we didn't use the word Greek. What were they back then? I don't know. I guess what's the name of the town they're from again? Ithacans. I don't know. Fucking who knows? Let's get Greg Kasavin on here. Let's talk about video games. First up, let's go to No Caps. You have played, in fact, your most recent video, which should be up on Noclip 2 by the time people are listening to this, is about detective games. And The Mermaid Mask is one of the games you mentioned. I played a little bit of this about a month ago. I played first couple hours or so. How have you enjoyed this? This is like is it fair to say I guess it's not a point and click adventure, but it's like a 2D adventure game, right?
Yeah, you are doing some pointing and clicking, but I would say most of the gameplay is you just like talking to the characters. But yeah, it's the newest game in the Detective Grimoire series. Tangle Tower was the previous game.
Right.
Yeah, and this time there is a murder aboard a submarine. So you kind of go down there, and I think there's like 9 suspects. You kind of go through the rooms and talk to them one by one, and then you can click around in each room and find a bunch of clues. And then some of them, you can like open up the book and like rotate it around, and there's like a note on the back, or there's others that are like this thing, but then it's actually a safe, and then you have to like do the puzzles and stuff. But it's just a good time. It's just a nice like mystery, like kind of spooky, cozy, like you're under, you're on a submarine and it's like eerie, and there's questions still up in the air, and it's fully voice acted.
Yes.
So you can kind of just sit back for like when you're like interviewing and questioning the people. But it's a good game, I would say, to play like over the course of a week or two and just play for like an hour or two every night. It is like, it's probably about 12 to 15 hours depending on how fast you read. Yeah, it's like 3 times longer than Tangle Tower. There's just like a lot of dialogue, so you've got to be up for that. But
that makes the like, because it's only like, it's $20, but it's like 17 at the moment or something, right? So that actually surprises me that there's so much game in there. The voice acting I thought was very cool. It also, I just think the art is gorgeous. Like,
yeah, the characters, each one is just like so, like they just has like good shapes. You know what I mean? Like there's the shape of their hair and like their outfits and everything, and the colors are just like very, I don't know, like very like cartoony, like satisfying. Like if you saw like a lineup of all the characters, you'd be like, oh, that's the one that's got a little head but like a big body, and then that's like the skinny one with like
the
lanky,
silhouettes.
Yeah.
It's almost like a double finey or something. I don't know. Like but like 2D. Like it reminds me a little bit of it doesn't look like Broken Age. It's a very different art style, but for some reason it gives me the same, like, I don't know, like the colors maybe, or just the quality maybe of the animation, and yeah, the animation is one thing, and then like the actual art, like the environment art, I found very appealing and nice. The opening I thought was I thought it was funny, like it was interesting and novel, and it was funny as well. Is it a funny game? Have you found it to be funny?
Yeah, there's definitely like humorous moments, like the banter between the two main characters. It's funny, and there's like, I guess depending on what kind of stories you like you might think some of the characters are funny or not, but there's nothing that's like would be like trying too hard to be funny or anything like that. Just like little quips and stuff in here and there. But yeah, I like the story. It's just mystery, like just finding secret rooms and weird objects. And
have you completed
it's a
it?
mystery game. Yeah, I have.
Does it have a satisfying ending without spoiling it?
Yeah, I think it does. I think Tangled Tower, I played that game a while ago, but I was kind of reading
2019.
reviews. Yeah, it's been a while, but I think people were not that happy with that ending. I honestly don't remember what it was, but yeah, this one's good. And these developers also made Crow Country.
I know, isn't that so funny?
Yeah.
It's like Tangle Tower is kind of like this, right? It's one of these kinds of games.
Yeah.
And then, they take a break from this series and make Crow Country, which is like, it's like a dithered 3D PlayStation 1 throwback. You guys have, I know Jeremy talked a lot about it when it first came out. Yeah, and then back to this, and it's very much like that first game. Is this the second in the series then?
It is the third. There is, I didn't play it, but the original one is just called Detective Grimoire, and it has like a completely different art style.
Oh yeah,
it has like
2014.
Looks like it has, similar mechanics, but
wow.
Yeah, maybe I should play that next.
That is, well, that's wild. And even like the first game they made, Haunt the House Terror Down, which also came out in 2014. It's fun. Crow Country, just like, I wonder if Crow Country was like a co-develop or a publish situation or something. No, it's SFP Games. I don't know.
I think it was them. Like, it's two brothers mainly.
Okay.
Tom and Adam. I know that there were some like other artists working on this game, but they definitely like did the majority of Crow Country.
Okay. Well,
and
people seem to like it.
Yeah, there's like some 3D stuff. Like the clues in the Mermaid Mask are like 3D objects now. So I think they kind of did they did that in Crow Country. So then they wanted to make part of it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like 3D. And then there's like these like little to kind of show where the figures were on the night of the murder. Like when they're giving their testimony, they have these like little 3D modeled like doll like versions, and then they kind of like move them around the submarine to like show where they were in each room. But yeah,
nice one.
Good stuff.
Yeah. People seem to really like it. Overwhelmingly positive so far. 923 reviews. There's also a demo available, which I believe is the opening of the game. I think it might be the opening is, like a lot of adventure games, is sort of its own little pocket story to a certain extent. Before you get in on the mission. Sorry, that was my Discord fucking going off. I swear to God, I've tried to mute it on that machine 1,000 times and it won't do it. At least it wasn't during E3 with Todd Howard and Jeff Keighley sitting next to me. That was much more embarrassing. $17.99. That offer will probably be gone by the time you are listening to this. You can also pick up the entire Detective Grimoire series for $21 at the moment, which is 50% off, would you believe? And like I said, the demo is also available. Is it on anything else other than Steam? Do we know?
I want to say that it is on everything.
Yeah.
Or is it not on Switch?
It feels like a game that...
It's on Switch too, yeah.
It is as well. And it's on PlayStation and Xbox?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. There you go. Pick it up, folks. The Mermaid Mask, especially if you're into adventure games. Like, we've covered a few over the years, and Monkey Island, of course, rears its head a lot. And we did a doc on Return. These games are often difficult to get people to, stick their heads out and do them. And I think there's a big thirst for it. I think this patch last year really obviously showed that as well. So support games like this, especially if they're selling them for $20. So go check it out, download the demo, and if you're interested, purchase the Mermaid Mask. I only have one game I played this week that I can really talk about. I was mostly spending my time watching Christopher Nolan movies, as it turns out, finishing up the World Cup, doing a lot of moving stuff around. As you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, I've been doing a bit of workout here in the office to prepare for the 10th anniversary party festivities. I did play one game. I played a demo of it because it's not out yet, but it's Metropolis 1998. This is essentially SimCity 2000. If you like SimCity 2000, the folks at YesBox Studios have been remaking it, and it's very good. The demo, you should check out the demo. It's got like a tutorial on how to play it. I can't explain this more than it plays like SimCity 2000. It has more detailed stuff. Like, for instance, when you're building like your mayor's house, you can literally build the house. Like it's almost like a mixture of The Sims and SimCity. It's like the perspective of SimCity 2000, but like you can like make rooms and doors and stuff like that, which is funny. And I really nice touches, like when you make windows, you can see the light coming in to the room, which I thought was cool. So it's all isometric, like pixel art, but like super detailed pixel art. Lots of different systems in here, but I think what I like about it, and what I liked obviously about those early SimCity games, is that there is a general level of complexity here, but it's very approachable. I think the, putting up power lines, doing the sewage, all that sort of stuff, like if you've played City Skylines, obviously there's another version that's another great version of this, but I found it to be very just lovely to look at as well. You know what I mean? Like, that's, I think, the problem. We've talked about this a lot with various games, like, Age of Empires 4 over or 3 to a certain extent over Age of Empires 2 and 1. Just, there is something that is lost, or like 2 Point Hospital against Theme Hospital. Like, the 3D versions of these games are often very, very good in their own right, in their own way, but there is just something magical about staring at isometric pixel art for hours and hours and hours. And I think this game, if you have that particular kink, then I think Metropolis 1998 is definitely worth checking out. It's coming out in early access soon, but you should go check out the demo. It's available to download right now. There's an alpha, apparently, or there was an alpha at one stage, or maybe that's what the demo was. Yeah, so check it out.
Is it a structure? I don't know if the demo reveals much, like structurally. Is it sort of like open-ended sandboxy, or is there kind of like you are the mayor and this is like whatever town, and you know what I mean? Like, is there like a campaign?
I think not currently. The demo is basically like just start. It's kind of like a tutorial. It's like start a city, and then when you're in there are some tooltips about what you should be doing to make that city. But I wouldn't be surprised. I kind of assume, like, so much of the game, like anything that I've remembered from SimCity 2000, I've seen in here. So I'm kind of assuming that once the game is in and out of early access, that like by the time you get to the end, it has like press this button to make an earthquake or alien appear, and here's a level where you load up Miami and it's a flood is happening. You know what I mean? Like I kind of, it's not in there now, but it feels like the type of game that is made by somebody who really wants to emulate the original version. Like, what was it where we did the Roller Coaster Tycoon documentary? Remember there was what was the name of that game? I forget the name of the other roller coaster game, but they basically just made their version of Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, and it was like, it was pretty faithful. There's like mods and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it feels like that. Did you like sandbox, or did you like loading into a pre-made city when you were playing those games?
I feel like I was young enough that I just like to load into a pre-made city and drop a fucking Gila monster in it and watch it eat it alive. You know what I mean?
Smacking the helicopters out of the sky.
Yeah.
All that good stuff. Yeah, it looks cool. It's it's awesome that somebody's making that. And it's just another one of these games where people are going back to the greats and making a modern version of them. Metropolis 1998. It's a great name too. Hopefully a guy didn't have to sell his vineyard to make this particular game. Jeremy Jane, you had a couple of games you're going to play. The one you landed on was The Incident at Galley House. Sorry, Galley House. Galley House. Like Scallywag Galley House. This came out in about a week ago. Another game that's been very well received. So what are we playing here?
So this game, I've seen an insane number of people gushing about this game in the last week. It is currently 95% overwhelmingly positive from over 1,600 user reviews in a week.
Oh, wow.
Insane. This is like...
I've seen this. I saw the people talking stuff with the weird shifting... Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's right. I'm glad you're familiar with it. It's like it's essentially a murder mystery game, but what you do is you're in this house that has where there's been a series of murders, a bunch of like mysterious murders, or deaths, I should say. And you walk in, and it's like an abandoned house now, and there's a machine inside, and the machine is like I guess like a seance machine is what I would call it. I don't really know how to explain it, but what you're essentially doing is you are calling up scenes from the night that these mysterious deaths happened. And all of these scenes have placeholder people in them that are like a silhouette and the number 11, and that's person 11.
Okay.
You can hear their voice, but you can't see what they look like. And then when actions happen that make noise, it'll be like someone, smashed a bottle, someone dropped a plate. So everything is sort of obfuscated as to a specific identity. Your job is to figure out, to call up all these scenes and identify who is who, to be like, all right, I have a sneaking suspicion that person 7 is this person from these board of people. The way that you pair these up are to call up a scene from the past, to watch it and see it play out, you have to put in 4 pieces of information: a time slot, a location, all of the people that were there.
Colonel Mustard in the drawing room with the chandelier.
Wait,
chandelier?
It's time slot, location, all the people were there. Maybe it's just those 3 things. There might be something I'm forgetting.
And you have to deduce those from some type of clue, or like other rooms you've been to and stuff like that?
So there's only you as a protagonist. There's only the one room you're in with this seance computer. All the exploration happens through these memories, but you do get like little notes. So you'll get like a note in the beginning that says, I think one is like O2 LI and then a bunch of numbers. So that's the second time chunk of events in the living room, and then all of the people who were there.
Okay.
So here's where it gets tricky: is someone will be like, someone will do something suspicious, and then they'll be like, all right, I have to go. I'm going to the parlor or whatever. I don't think parlor's a real room, so I'm not spoiling anything. You might then be like, all right, that was time chunk 6. I'm going to go back to the computer, put in 7, parlor, and that person.
Oh.
But the problem is, if you don't know everyone who was in the room, you can't just take blind stabs at it. You have to know every single person that was there. So it's a lot about like sort of reverse engineering everything else that happened around specific events, figuring out where people were, trying to track one person through specific events. I don't know. It's just like, it's so fascinating. Me and Chelsea played about 4 hours of it last night, and we were just like sucked in. It's also so open-ended that at one point she was like, do me a favor, just like type in this location. And I was like, I don't understand the significance of it. She's like, I just have a hunch. And it ended up being a real location.
Oh, cool.
So it's like, it's fun in that way that it's very sort of like a sandboxy open-ended mystery. Like you can't just guess the ending or whatever, but like there was a room that I never would have guessed was there that she just had a hunch on.
That's very cool.
And then it functions both ways, where it wasn't a spoiler because it didn't tell us anything specific about how to unravel all of these other pieces of the mystery. But I like that the game is sort of just like, yeah, you can guess to your heart's content what the other rooms are or whatever.
Yeah.
So you could just take blind stabs all day if you want at this game. But it does a good job of telegraphing, like a scene will have a number on it, and that number is how many other scenes you could sort of like infer are like existing from this scene.
Okay.
So
that's cool.
It at least is not just being like, all right, here's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lines of text. Go figure it out. It'll be like there's one other scene you could find that you haven't discovered yet, based on information in this specific scene.
That's neat. It's like
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's just weird that we keep playing. It's like it's like both these games are murder mystery games to a certain extent, and then this is like, I don't know, it's got like a weird mix of, I'm seeing Seance of Blake Manor in here, I'm seeing kind of Obra Dinn in here. A lot of the screenshots and stuff remind me of what are those games that Jesse was telling me to play forever and then I eventually did. They have like a lot.
Golden Idol?
The Golden Idol games, it kind of has a bit of that in there maybe as well. Looks really interesting.
Yeah, I could totally see all those. It's like an interesting. It felt both familiar to me as someone who's played a handful of games that are like murder mysteries and kind of like fill in the blanks Golden Idol stuff. But it's mechanically, I feel like it's so specific and like unique in what it's doing, because it's like you're following this story and you're like, it's almost like Guess Who. Like the seance machine kind of looks like a Guess Who board. And as you figure out who people are, you have all these photographs. Some of them aren't even like people that were there necessarily. It'll just be like they all have animal code names. So it'll be like the deer, and it'll be like he was wearing leather gloves, he had a blood stain on his shirt, and like he smells like cigarettes. Okay. And then it's just a picture of him. So at some point you'll be like, oh, that guy was smoking a cigarette and he was wearing gloves. I bet he is the deer. You can then tentatively assign that photograph to that person. And then when you watch scenes with that person in it, their portrait will be that person.
Okay.
But you can fuck yourself over if you put in the wrong name and the wrong portrait. And all of a sudden you're like, that's, Eddie, and he looks like this. And now you've got in your mind that that's Eddie and that's what he looks like. And you might be completely wrong.
And you can't, you've decided that now. And it's hard to go back and relitigate that decision that you made an hour earlier or whatever.
Which is interesting because that like rigidity is entirely cognitive and not mechanical. Yeah. Because the game you can name anyone anything and change their portrait at any time, but it's more about like, I made up my mind that this is what this guy looks like or whatever. And then it's hard to undo that. So yeah, it's fun. It's very like I like games that let you theory craft. I think that's it's a hard thing to dial in mechanically to give the player that much freedom, while also making it feel like a directed sort of intentional experience. And 4 hours into this game, it just keeps getting better and better. I think it's fantastic.
It's cool. The developer William Rouse made a game called Cellar a while ago, and then also he seemed to have developed this alongside Evil Trout, who made a game that I wanted to play but I never got around to it, called The Root Trees Are Dead.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, which is another sort of mystery style, like different screens, different mechanisms style stuff, which also has about 5,000 reviews, overwhelmingly positive. It came out the start of last year. Totally fell off my radar. I remember hearing about it and then not getting around to playing it. So there is actually a bundle with The Root Trees Are Dead and The Incident at Galley House. And there also is one with Desktop Explorer, which is a game that I was talking about when I came back from PAX last year. No Caps has done a great video on Noclip 2, which also has great info and opinion on Desktop Explorer, which is a very interesting, fun game. And there also is one with TR49, which came out earlier this year, which I still haven't gotten around to. But so there's a lot of great puzzle games. I feel like the past 2 years has just been kind of one of the best genres. Like it's which kind of makes sense in a way, because it's like the place where you kind of have to do great mechanics. Like you can't just hide it behind pixel count and fucking, I don't know, graphics or meaningless action. You know what I mean? Like you kind of have to make a good game to be successful in that genre. And it's like everyone sort of pulled everyone up or whatever, and I'm definitely way more like 10, 15 years ago, these games were for like anoraks in my head. You know what I mean? Like these types of games, like a murder. Imagine getting like, when you were like buying like, Half-Life 2 and the big box version, and then there was like a murder mystery game there. You'd be like, oh, that's for granddad. It's like such a weird so it's like, to me it's a genre. Maybe it's just because I'm now a fucking granddad, I don't know, but middle-aged men. But there's been a great number of these games, and they all look very different as well. Like, the Curse of the Golden Isle doesn't look anything like this, doesn't look anything like Obra Dinn, doesn't look anything like Seance of Blake Manor, Desktop Explorer, TR49. You know what I mean? Like, they're all doing their own thing, but it's kind of almost calling them puzzle games or detective games. It's almost, even the 4 games that No Caps had in her video were all so different,
Yeah.
In terms of how they played, in terms of graphics. It's cool. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think that like it necessitates them being mechanically different, because I think if you made a game that was like a mad fill in the blank Mad Libby style like Golden Idol games, people would be like, oh, this is like a Golden Idol like.
Right.
Whereas like people
Right.
make, like I mean, I guess like Souls like. I guess this happens with every genre, but I feel like puzzles in particular, because it's just like you're just doing the thing with no fucking bells and whistles. It's just like you just watch like here's like a guy in a suit, and then it's like, all right, here's the mechanics just raw in front of you. Interact with them.
It's like if anyone makes a book now where you have to find someone in a crowd, it's like, oh, it's a Where's Wally book.
It's a Waldo
book. Yeah, a Waldo. Yeah, it's like, you're right. There's something about mechanics in a game like a, I don't know, I'm trying not to use the word puzzle game, but maybe it's just game mechanics. There's something about these types of games where you can't lift it from someone else directly, because then it just feels boring or derivative. I guess it's the element of mystery as well. Is like the solution has to be mysterious. The process of deducting must also be mysterious. Like if you're playing Call of Duty, there's no like mystery as to how you will complete the game. It's like, well, I shoot people and keep walking forward. Like that's how I beat I don't know who I'm going to shoot. I don't know how long I'm going to walk forward for, but that's basically what's going to happen. Whereas when you play one of these games, you often don't really know how you're going to get to the end. You know what I mean? It's more of a maze or whatever.
Yeah.
In terms of your progress.
Especially with the sort of like time machine mechanic in this, because it'll like non-linear storytelling, as Christopher Nolan himself can attest to.
Absolutely.
The master of non-linear storytelling.
Yes. Offer code Zarbomba.
Type it in now, folks. It's a very difficult thing to do, to create a story that has 20 something segments or whatever, and all of these segments have like different sort of like people are in different rooms doing different things, like all 100 something scenes potentially. And let people interact with them in any order, or like, not any order, but like a large number of potential orders, and not have the story just be like completely dysfunctional and dissatisfying.
Yeah.
I think it's a very difficult balance to strike, because there was one point where we found a scene that was like one of the 2 last time chunks, and we're like, that's crazy. Like, I have no fucking idea how we get from A to B.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, so it's like between what we know at like 7 and what we know at the final chunk, it's like I have no fucking idea what could have transpired that would lead to this guy doing this. So yeah, I don't know, it's very, very satisfying, and it has a built-in notebook in it too, so it's a notebook game. It's like a taking notes game. But
The Notebook, Ryan Gosling.
It has Ryan Gosling's The Notebook embedded. You can watch the whole thing in the game.
Christopher Nolan's The Notebook. He's remade it.
I would watch Christopher Nolan's.
He's cast Matt Damon in it.
It's just Michael Caine
and
in
Anne
every role.
Hathaway and Michael Caine.
Is Michael Caine still alive?
Sure.
Okay, good.
He's out there talking about tangerines, man.
How old is Michael Caine?
He's
saw 93.
A tangerine. The size of a tangerine.
I shouldn't have asked if he's alive, because that's how you kill a celebrity.
Yeah, William Shatner was playing metal on a stage over the weekend. He's 95. I don't know what's going on with these guys. Because to me, they're not like the hell. Like both these guys did a lot of drugs and drank. You know what I mean? Michael Caine and William Shatner, they probably have the highest body counts in like the 70s in Hollywood. Like, they keep cutting during the World Cup to Mick Jagger in the crowd. He's at like every game. The guy's like 180. Like what? Like I don't know. I'm not saying hard drugs and alcohol are the solution, but I'm open. I'm open to it. You know what
Some
I mean?
people are just built different. Some people. Ozzy lived to 76. Ozzy was like fucking on heroin for most of his. Well, not most of his life. I don't know what the fraction is.
For his best years.
A big enough chunk that you would be like, I don't know about all this.
But he also, from the age of 40, acted like somebody who had been on heroin for, his best years. Man. Anyway. Christopher Nolan's The Incident at Galley House.
I can't wait for the movie version.
It's going to be great. You can only play it and you have to have what's the PC version of 70 mil? It's probably just owning a PC these days because it's so fucking expensive and hard to get graphics cards. So.
Those ultra wide screens that none of the games run on.
That's right. Yeah, like the one I have here that are one of our very nice patrons gifted to noclip, which also made recording gameplay on it a complete nightmare. But that's fine. As Jeremy said, overwhelmingly positive, 1,600 reviews at time of recording. It's $20, and there are a bunch of other, little packs you can get with 5 or 10% off some games. Check it out. The Incident at Galley House. Frank Howley patiently waiting in the wings, waiting for his time to walk up to the plate, walk up to the box, and receive his first pitch. Here we are, Frank. eBaseball trademark Pro Spirit 2026, an early contender for best game title of the year. Please tell me about this. eBaseball. This is we talked a little bit last week. This is the baseball Konami game, kind of like eFootball as it is known these days. The old Winning 11. If I'm right, there are 2 versions of this. There's like a free version, which is pretty limited, and then there's the video game version. What have you been playing, and what do you make of it?
Yeah, so I've only been playing like an hour, like an hour or 2 of it because I've watched like a dozen hours of the actual Nippon baseball. But yeah, there's so many modes in this. So I don't have like a full report on it yet, but I did start what's called like star player mode, which is the make your own character, and that's been really cool. So. I made myself and I picked catcher. So that way I'm both a batter and a catcher. I didn't know this when I started. It's like, I want to be a pitcher too. I want to be like Shohei Ohtani. But the rules are you can't be a pitcher and a hitter in the Pacific League. So I was like, I had to make a new career. Can
you also, am I wrong? Isn't that the difference between the American League and the National League as well? Is that they have the designated hitter thing?
Yeah.
For a pitcher, right? Isn't that a thing? Yeah. All right. There you go. You can catch though. That's good. And, catching and throwing. Is that what you're doing? Catching and throwing?
Yeah. So I picked catcher, but when you're the catcher, the mechanics, the way it works in the game is like it's POV. So you're seeing like the hitter and then the pitcher, and you are basically being the pitcher. You're signaling the pitcher which ones to do. So you're basically playing the pitcher. So I'm getting to play both sides, which is fun. And then hitting is really exciting. And then the thing I'm like starting to learn, which I always find super fascinating, especially like when I watch, is like. By default, you hit the ball, you get to first base. But now I'm getting a little bit more confident. Like, if I hit the ball far enough and on the right side, can I get to the second base? And the game has like an action. I'm sure this is with every baseball game. But the game's got like an action button. So if you really want to try to slide into base or whatever, it's exciting. Nice. And then it's got like really fun progression. So so you start the game, your career, and you play like 5 games, and you're like judged. And so. It's my first time playing this game. I didn't know any of the controls, or I did the tutorials and stuff, but I did so bad they put me on the farm team immediately. But
wait, they have like a fucking matchmaking, like in a ranked competitive game.
Yeah, so it's like you either make the main team or you get sent to the farm league. So I'm sent to the farm league, but like it's a story mode, so it's like. The game is like, hey, maybe if you go out with the coach, maybe he'll like you enough to bump you up to the main thing. So the game's got like relationships. There's non-player relationships and then player relationships. If you hang out with players, they'll teach you like moves. It's almost like Final Fantasy, like you learn spells. So this guy will teach me how to hit ground balls better, and you can equip spells and you get XP. It's like a job system. It's really fascinating. And like when you go out with like players, you have options. You can go to karaoke. And it it's like visual novel storytelling. Fuck? It's like a photograph of a karaoke room, and it's like, we sang dramatic songs, and our team spirit increased, and now he taught me this new type of pitch. If you go out with non-player characters, you can do like there's like the media relations guy or like the press guy, and he'll give you more context. You can go out with other people. Like every person you go out with, there's like different perks. So you can also go out with like the manager of the team, and he's like, let me show you the behind the scenes, how to manage a team. It's like And it's all just photographs of like people in the like stock. It's almost like AEW's story mode, which was also a Japanese made game. And maybe now the AEW game was inspired by Pro Spirit because it's been around for 20 years.
They'd never put this stuff in I suspect they haven't put it in eFootball. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just haven't. But I do love the idea that they can go like full Japan mode, because this is just like for, Japanese audience basically, or people who care enough about Japanese baseball who are going to be predisposed to this. That's so cool. That's so funny to hear that that's in there, especially considering how like graphically in 3D, like the actual game, this game looks like photo real.
It's amazing. Like the physics, the slow motion camera stuff is amazing. Like even the crowds, like I'm in the farm team, so the crowds aren't fully dense, but it's like, oh my god, it's so cool. It's like the graphics are unbelievable.
It's like, it's dog night at the whatever, the Hiroshima Ball Dome or whatever. Sorry, Hiroshima. I was just thinking about Oppenheimer.
Yeah, the Carps. No, but
Christopher Nolan.
Like we were watching a Ham Fighter game at the Hokkaido Stadium, and then we play the game, and then there's the actual stadium, and it's like 1-to-1. It's unbelievable. It's like it's
amazing.
It's so cool how they recreate it, and there's like not as many stadiums, so maybe it's easier. And again, it's like WWE games; they'll just reuse the assets every year and polish it. You can like go out on dates with girls. I haven't like gotten to that level yet, but like I'm so curious what that's like.
You can go. Why? What the fuck does that help?
Maybe they teach you skills or something. I don't know. That's why I'll keep reporting. I got to keep playing the game.
I am actually genuinely fascinated. Like, do they go the wholesome route with that, where like your confidence goes up, or do they do something like super dark? Like,
yeah, or will there be like a Yakuza?
Like you're more athletic now, or something. You know what I mean? Like,
or if there'll be
wild,
silly side story stuff. One other fun thing is like you can invite your
friends.
Do
you date the manager's daughter? Is that like a thing? Or
that is the thing in Ridge Racer 4 has that. So you pick your car teams, and I think if you go for the Italian team, the Italian daughter like flirts with you. Okay. And it's like, that's great. So like Ridge Racer, so yeah, even like these silly story modes, Ridge Racer 4, 26 years ago or whatever, had the same exact thing for the career mode stuff. So this has just been a thing inherent with all these games. And then if you go out with players, one thing you do is watch sports, and one of the options is to watch pro wrestling, and it's like, oh my god, this is so cool. It's
wow.
So yeah, and then I'm trying to think of other details. Like there's so many other modes I still want to do, like the action. There's like. So I'm doing star player mode, which is just yourself. I'm working for the Ham Fighters. I'm excited to get called up. You have like a star player after every game. Yeah, you level up your stats. You get new fans. So I'm excited to see the story stuff. There's season mode where you just pick a team. I'm curious. You have to play all positions, all 9 innings. I have no idea. Or is it truncated? I have no idea. And then there's like manager mode and a bunch of stuff.
Is there any weird rules? Like, are there any rules that they do that we don't have in America? Can you steal bases?
Base stealing is like the biggest thing in Japanese baseball. Like that's
really?
Bunting and stealing are like the two. What's the term? Small ball someone uses, but it's like Japanese like in American baseball, it's like home runs, heavy. It's like long drives. Japanese baseball is like a lot of stealing, a lot of bunting. What is it? Tagging up is the term. I forget. Like they'll like do sacrifice outs.
Yeah.
I watched a Ham Fighter game and Reyes hit like a ball to the far right side. That way the guy on third could just get a home, and he sacrifices himself out for the point. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, I don't know. I'm so new to baseball, but it's like, oh, this is so fascinating. But
sack fly, you know what that's called?
Fly, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm more accustomed now to like the Japanese baseball rules. Where like that's my regular. So next week I'm going to an Angels. A friend invited me to an Angels game, so I'll go to an American baseball game. And be like, this is so fucking different. This is.
Do they play like organ music or anything like that? Like,
so they have
Japan.
I'm trying to
or
think.
Like intro music or any Titan Trump, because of baseball. Like when I first came over here and was going to games, I was like, oh, this is like WWE. Like they have like when the closer for the Giants came on, they had like this like amazing like mariachi song that they play for him when he came on, and the whole place went fucking crazy. Like and they had like a video screen with like the like him doing his best shots, like edited, all cool. It was like, this is awesome. It was like if Triple H walked out or something.
Yeah, I heard American baseball games, they'll have walkout music. With Japanese baseball, they have the fans doing the music the whole time. On the farm teams, they're not doing that. But I saw like in the game, you can like edit like the different fan music. So I don't know if you can like customize MIDI or whatever. But I'm assuming in the main thing, you'll have the Owen Don music going.
That's cool.
But yeah, I haven't even just tried a major league game yet because I'm stuck in the farm leagues. But I am getting better And so one of the achievements is to get called up to the main team. So I'm excited, and just to see the presentation. And then even last night we flicked on like a Henshin Tigers game, and then right behind the batter was advertised in Japanese eBaseball Pro Spirit, and had like the Steam and PS5 logo. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like,
wow.
So it's cool to see. But yeah, so I've just played a little bit of it, but I really like it so far, and the presentation's incredible.
So it officially came out July 15th. I think the demo might have come out back in March. Is that true? The free version?
Yeah, the tutorial, tutorial thing, and that thing is not licensed with MPB. It's just like the engine, so you can like still play games with like generic teams to get a feel for it. But now the actual thing is out.
It's at $60 right now. eBaseball trademark Pro Spirit 2026. Maybe my favorite Steam news post I've seen over the past week or so. Notice regarding an issue. The issue has been resolved. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. There you go.
Fucking, I remember the issue. It was a real problem.
We all remember, yeah. It was so bad, you don't even have to refer
You don't
to
even
it
want to
specifically.
know.
You don't want to know. You don't want to know. That's true. A couple of other little bits and bobs we got here. No caps. You watched Spirited Away for the first time. We're not going to have Odyssey spoilers here, of course. We don't want to spoil, Homer's beautiful story. It's only been a few thousand years. Hashtag offer code Zarbamba. But Spirited Away, I feel like it's fair game because we've it's only been out for like whatever 20 years. Frank, you've seen it too, I'm guessing, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. We've all seen it. Great. Okay. So if you are listening to this, you never watched Spirited Away, for goodness sake, do yourself a favor and go check it out. But I want to hear what No Cops has to say about it. So how'd you get on this? Are you new to the Miyazaki movies? Have you watched a few of these? What made you watch it?
The only one I've seen is the newest, Boy and the Heron.
Oh wow, that's a crazy place to start with Miyazaki.
I was like, that was weird. I saw it like it was in my local theater, like whenever it came out. I was like, that was weird. Like, but I like animated movies. But I don't know why I haven't watched it until last weekend. Honestly, I mean, it's on HBO, so I don't know if it was just never on a streaming service that I had at the time or whatever. But I was like, okay, you know what? Like, let's watch a movie. I don't know. I'm not that into real people movies, as I call them. So let's watch an animated movie. Like, that's how you can get me into a movie if it's a cartoon. But the beginning is so beautiful. I was just like, they made that like they knew how to hook you. Like, it's so colorful, and like they're riding in the car and they're like going over bumps and all this stuff is like bouncing around, and they're like in this open field. And I was like, oh my god, like what is this movie? Like, what's gonna happen? I had no idea. And I was kind of surprised that most of it just was at the bathhouse place. Yeah. Like, I kind of wanted them to go on an adventure, you know what I mean? But like, no, I love the characters, and I was like, what is going on? Why is there this bathhouse for spirits, and who's this sludge guy? And
oh my god, No Face is like an absolute. There's so much like dread in that movie of like, when her parents turn into God. Talk about a connection with the Odyssey I hadn't picked up on until about 2 seconds ago.
You're right.
That's crazy. When they turn into pigs, it's like that is so scary. And then when because he gets her in right at the start, he gets her across the bridge, right? And then so that's scary because now she's in there, and then will she get a job? And the guy doesn't want to talk to her, and then when the beast like it's just obstacle after obstacle after obstacle for her. It's so it's like scary and dreadful.
It is like, I think if I watched it as a kid, there was like a couple different points I was like, I definitely would have stopped watching at this point because it's too scary.
Yeah, that's something that I think Miyazaki does really well. Is his stuff is so accessible for different age groups. Like, I never watch a Miyazaki, even Kiki's Delivery Service, which is arguably one of the sort of more like for young people movies. I saw it as a kid and I loved it. I've seen it as an adult and resonated with it in such different ways. Yeah. Like, as a kid, it's about being like a kid and going on an adventure and being like a misfit and all these things. As an adult,
independence for the first time kind of thing. Yeah,
exactly. And as an adult, it's like maybe the best movie about creative burnout ever made.
Yeah.
It's insane. And I feel like Spirited Away is one of those movies that's like, it's challenging for kids in a way that I think is really positive. And I think a lot of Miyazaki's movies do this, that are like Totoro. Totoro is, again, like one of the more sort of juvenile Miyazaki movies, but it's like I won't spoil details about it, but it's challenging in other ways. Yeah, you should watch Totoro as well.
I think Spirited Away has my favorite, like, it has most of my favorite Miyazaki movie characters in it. Like, I think the characters in that movie are like, I think No Face is incredible. I think, what's she called? Is she Baba Yaga? What do they call her? The bathhouse lady. Baba. Her head, like that whole thing. And then the weird little one that like follows her around. There's like a baby version of her or something. And then those fucking 3 heads, those oi, oi, oi guys, like all those people, they're just the sots.
Yeah, the
like this. Oh my god! Like
Kamaji, the guy in the boiler room with all the big long arms. I love.
Oh, he's brilliant. Yes. Yeah. Oh god, and the No Face resolution, I adore. Like that whole thing. The fact that he's just like eating everything. The liquid, I don't know how they animated that stuff, but like when he's in the big bath, when he gets in it and he's big and the water gushes over and like flows everywhere. Like, fuck, I want to go watch it right now again, you know?
It's so good. No caps. You should also like Princess Mononoke is probably maybe my favorite movie of all time.
Okay.
I would highly recommend that. I also a lot of the sort of like quieter Ghibli movies are also really good. Like I
like Howl's Moving Castle. That's not too quiet, but I
love Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah.
I think Spirited Away might be the best Miyazaki movie, but I think other sort of more flawed movies I like better for weird reasons. It's Yesterday by Isao Takahata is also fucking amazing. Takahata's work in general is like much sort of like quieter and humbler, but also grandiose in its own way. Holy shit, what's the Princess Kaguya? The Tale of Princess Kaguya. Highly recommend that one as well. I'm gonna make you a Ghibli list. You don't have to regard it at all, but I'm just gonna write down like 20 movies that I love for you.
Yeah, I want to watch something else this weekend.
Yeah, I just rewatched Princess Mononoke for the first time in like 5 years, and yeah, it like moved me to tears. It's unbelievable.
Man, oh man, good movies. You've also been modding your Wii.
Yeah, I'm in the process, which I didn't think it was gonna. I thought I was gonna be one and done, but I think I think it's my flash drive is having issues. But yeah, I sat down Friday night. I was like, you know what I'm going to finally do is I'm going to mod my Wii so that I can maybe play some games that I don't have physically, you know, find them somewhere else and, you know,
game preservation. I get it.
Yeah, check out some maybe Japan-only GameCube games. And it started off well. I got my homebrew app. And then I downloaded all my other things. There's like, for some reason, you have to download like 4 different things. But then I think my flash drive, it was not reading something that needed to download because I think the Wii is very finicky with flash drives. It's better with SD cards. So I have an SD card in the mail. But I spent like 3 hours Friday night just back and forth from the computer to the Wii, just trying to troubleshoot. I think it'll be worth it.
Have you played Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 yet?
I have 2. Okay. That I'm gonna replay at some point. I don't know if I ever played 1, but I'm assuming 2 is just a better version.
I think. I remember I think that's. I don't think like it's definitely not a situation where 1 is the best and don't play 2 or anything like that. But yeah, I'm trying to think of other great. Frank, you got any like good Wii or GameCube games that come to mind? Like Beautiful Joe, obviously. Like
I really want to play.
Have you played Killer 7?
Oh yeah.
No.
Killer 7's great.
Killer 7, okay.
That's a good shout. What were the other? What were they? Wasn't the Capcom 4? Who was it for? What was the Beautiful Joe? Was in that?
Yeah, the Capcom 4. Yeah, so it was like Killer 7, Beautiful Joe, PN03, and the Resident Evil 4 was part of that.
Were those the 4? Okay, yeah.
And then there was a 5th one that got canceled.
Okay, yeah, it's good stuff, man. Some good.
I also want to play Chibi Robo.
Right.
And Ribbit King. Definitely want to play Eternal Darkness. I'm just kind of looking at GameCube for now to like limit my possibilities. So that'll take me a while.
That's fair. God, I'm trying to think other good GameCube games.
Pikmin, the first Pikmin game.
Yeah. Twilight Princess.
Metroid Prime.
Or Wind Waker, I meant. We talked about that last week, though. Oh, yeah, Metroid Prime's fantastic, yeah. Was that a GameCube game?
Yeah, I think so, right?
It was? Wow, that's wild. Oh, Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door. That was my first Paper Mario. I absolutely adored it. Get it?
I have one on one of them that's on the Wii, and I didn't like it, but I think that's a weird one. I don't remember what it was, but it was like really boring.
The Paper Mario ones?
On the Wii.
One of them on the Wii. I don't know which one was it on the Wii.
Super Paper Mario.
I wonder if that was a remake, was it? Of another one.
It's the third installment of Paper Mario following 1,000-Year Door. So it's just like the third sequel in the series.
I'll try the original though.
Mario Kart Double Dash was probably I think that was my first real Mario Kart because I didn't own a Nintendo until the GameCube, like first time around. I think Double Dash is great, but then everyone always loves their first one. Have you played any Metal Gear Solid games?
No.
Twin Snakes is decent. And what was the other game they made? What was the other game? That Eternal Darkness. That was all. I've never played that though, but that was another one. That was from the same developers. From what are they called again? And then they made Two Human. Silicon Knights. There we go. I got there. Dennis Diak's studio. I got there eventually.
No caps. Have you ever played Resident Evil?
Yes.
Okay, I was
like
gonna
the
say
first one.
Yeah, because the GameCube remake is so great.
Yeah, I played that.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
God, remember like when there were screenshots of that in magazines, people were like losing their minds. Like, have you seen this?
It still looks amazing. It's perfect.
It's good stuff. Remakes, man. Sometimes they make them good.
Very rarely, once in a while.
Turns out Capcom are pretty good at them. So they've got priors in here on this. Let's move it on to emails. Frank Halley, what we got, my friend?
Yes, sorry. Okay. All right. If you want to send emails, please write to us podcast@noclip.video or on our Patreon Discord channel, podcast chat. Once again, podcast@noclip.video. I did want to say I really like Densha Attack. It's really, really good. Can I mention it for a second? Sorry.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week a bunch. So
okay. All right. The soundtrack. Sorry. Okay. Emails. There's so much I want to talk about it. It's so cool. All right. Then take that bottle, that nuclear excitement as my recommendation. All right. Emails. Tom wrote about physical game adventures. All this talk of physical games got me thinking about going to great lengths to find a copy of a game I really wanted to play. The story that comes to mind is my pre-order of Skyrim getting delayed by Amazon and not arriving release date. It was my day off, so instead of being a reasonable person and waiting a few days, I cycled to the closest game shop, which is in a town an hour away. I got my copy, cycled home, and played Skyrim on 360 for the rest of the day. It was worth it. What lengths have you all gone to get your hands on a physical release?
Oh, man. I remember getting Skyrim for the first time. No, Oblivion. They had a really cool box for it. I went down first thing in the morning, so 9 a.m. when GameStop opened, and picked it up right away, ran home, played the shit out of it for days. What about you guys?
I played Imperium Galactica 2 on a friend's computer when I was a kid with my brother, and we were like, holy fuck, this is the coolest thing ever. And I think we ordered it online. I think it might have been like the first game I bought on Amazon ever. This was a long time ago when they were just like a bookstore. And we just stood outside on the corner waiting for the delivery truck to come for like 3 days. Because it took like a week to come. So once like a week had gone by, we were just like out there after school waiting for the guy. And it was like 3 days late. So we just stood outside for like 3 days being like, what the fuck is this guy?
Awful.
Yeah, it was boring. In the 90s was boring.
Life was very boring. Life might be too unboring now, but it was definitely boring. We did overcorrect, but it was, days were long and full of woe. You got any yourself, no caps?
I can't think of anything specific. Like, I never did like a midnight release. Like, I never got anything
that's a bummer.
On release, I don't think. I would just get excited, I guess, when I could convince my mom to take me to GameStop to like look at whatever was used, but there wasn't anything specific that stands out.
Midnight launches are great. Frank, have you done any midnight launch? I feel like you've probably done a bunch of them down in SoCal.
Yeah, I remember like Burning Crusade, Halo 3.
Yes.
Like, I feel like that era was, like when I was in high school, it was a little bit more like, my parents didn't care as much, so my friends and I would all go. I'm like, even my dad and I camped out for the Wii outside Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we went down. I remember Wii release day, me and three of my friends went down and picked up our Wiis that we had reserved. PSP, I did that as well. But yeah, World of Warcraft was always it. And I worked in stores where we did it, and then I purchased them when they did it, and then later I worked at stores. I did it wasn't Warlords of Draenor, it was the third one. What's the ice one?
Wrath of the Lich King.
Wrath of the Lich King. Yeah, I did midnight launch of Wrath, and that was awesome. Especially because the game boxes were massive as well. So like, you know, it wasn't like people were coming in to buy a small box. So we had so many of these things, and we were in the store was in Cork, which has got a pretty big college town. So it was lots of college kids lined up at midnight to get it. It was awesome. It was so cool. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. Good question. Let's move on to the next one.
Alejandro wrote in asking about gatekeeping in gaming. I wanted to ask you about your feelings regarding gatekeeping in gaming and how it could be a double-edged sword sometimes. I wanted to ask is when a niche or semi-obscure game starts getting popular and the people who made up the original player base start being ignored by the developers in order to cater to a bigger audience, diluting what the game was and in some cases alienating those who love the game and pushing them out because if they raise complaints about it, they're met with arguments like, you are just wearing nostalgia goggles, or, well, I like the new changes, the game was not approachable before. At what point is it fair to say gatekeeping should have been done to prevent this? Is it ever justified? I do understand the argument of companies wanting to maximize profit, but I also feel like we are losing what made some games great by trying to push for the maximum audience.
It's a loaded question. This person has a specific thing that they have grievances about that they are wrapping in a more general tone. At least that's what it sounds like to me. No, I think I would say that saying gatekeeping should have done to prevent this is there is a level of hubris there that I just cannot get behind. I think fan communities, by their very nature, are not organized communities, and so everyone sort of infers the power that they have or don't have. I think when games, the idea that a game was only going in a direction because for market reasons. Like, this is why we interview developers, because people make up justifications on Reddit and message boards. People don't understand who made the game, why they made the game, how difficult it was when they didn't have enough resources, the type of game they were originally trying to make, the decisions they made, the decisions that were outside of their control. We don't know any of that. So we're just looking at the cave paintings and assuming 99% of what went on. So I don't let developers make the games they want to make. And like, I don't know what mechanism you would have to force a studio to do something, because like no one's going to, I don't know, like listen to a mob. Like, you know what I mean? Like what would be the one thing that would start a developer trying to get new players? It would be because the current install base of players are insufferable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd love to know what the specific situation is, because to me, that's what this looks like. This is what this sounds like. What do you think, Jeremy?
I'm also curious what specific game this person has in mind. I do sympathize or empathize with the predicament, though, because it is like a thing that happens, that games change over time, and sometimes they sort of like alienate the core audience or change it to something else. I even feel like Elden Ring, I think, is a great game, but I think it sort of dilutes what I like about Souls games. But that being said, I don't think it's because like we didn't fight back hard enough, man. They took it from us because we didn't fucking, take up arms against it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's hard to have a relationship between a developer and an audience that is not sort of like over like concentrated in one side or the other. I think that if developers listen too much to their player base, then it becomes this like Ouroboros of feedback that makes shitty games. And I think if they don't listen to their fan base at all, that runs the risk of making games that don't cater to the people who care about these games. So, and then also like, how do you choose who to listen to? You know what I mean? If you have like 3,000 diehards and then 10,000 like guys who just got off their marketing job and want to play something after their kids go to bed, you know, how do you prioritize who is like the audience worth listening to or whatever?
I also think that there are like, I don't know. I have never had such a high opinion of myself that I would tell a developer what to do. Even when I did the stuff on, on GameSpot and stuff, there was, a lot of that was saturated with the idea that what the fuck do I know, right? So I think one thing that people who think that they have the answers to games problems, like, I think there were fewer and fewer of those people than there were like 20 years ago. I could be wrong. I don't know. It's a big part of noclip's mission as well, is to try and almost like cut out that behavior, because I find it to be completely moronic. Like, if you talk to developers, like, of course they listen to their community, but they're not taking the advice from their community. They're listening, and then they, as experts in what this game is, the reality of the development, they can find out the answer. It's like QA, right? Like a whole big thing about, or maybe not QA, more like testing. When they test games and people give feedback on those games, the feedback itself is largely wrong, but by listening to the feedback, you can infer the solution, or rather the feedback in terms of what the problem is can help the developer figure out, okay, and it's rarely one-to-one. Like, it's like, oh, like those enemies are too powerful, right? Is the problem that the enemies are too powerful, or is the problem that we taught you how to do a spell 20 minutes ago, but you forgot, so we need to do a better job at reinforcing that lesson before you fight these enemies? You know what I mean? Like, it's never... These communities are notoriously bad at understanding like what about a game works or doesn't. Like, I'm involved in the Arc Raiders subreddit, right? Like, I'm in there all the time, and like, I find it really funny when there are these conversations about like, oh, I'm done with this game, it's been 250 hours, but I don't have the, I just can't play it anymore. And it's like, yeah, you play 250 hours of this fucking game, like like that's good. Like, that's not a problem. That's, like what are they, what's meant to happen now? It's just like stuff like that. It's, yeah. So I don't know. I don't think gatekeeping is ever a good thing, ever, really.
Yeah. It's an interesting distinction you make, though, that we have had interviews with developers where they say that the people who play their games have insights into those games that the developers themselves do not have.
Very true.
But the interesting distinction, I think, that you've made there is that having insight into what a problem is not necessarily insight into what the solution or cause of the problem is. And so if an audience may be more attuned to, because they didn't make the thing, so they're going in blind, so they inherently have a different perspective on it. And also, like, the way they play the game, the amount they play the game, it's just like a completely different thing. But like you said, they might be like, oh, that boss is too strong. And it's like, the solution isn't the obvious thing of making the boss weaker. The solution is like, oh, we need to, this needs to be in a different chunk. We need to give the player a different tool. We need to like make the player faster, slower, whatever.
Yeah. So please feel free, Alejandro, to email back in with any specific grievance you have.
We will read your grievance next week.
We will. And we might be more, I might be more sympathetic to it. I hope I wasn't too overly unsympathetic, but I personally don't like the idea of gatekeeping. I think it's like, everyone should, I don't think you should, people are good fans and bad fans. They're just different types of fans. Sometimes games aren't for you, and sometimes games are for other people, and sometimes games were for you and they're not anymore, and that might be the game, that might be you, that might be, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. I guess if they turned Half-Life into like a, pachinko machine, I'd probably have something to say about that. Yeah.
Circles closing, Gordon.
Actually, no, I'm on board. This sounds all right.
He loves it.
That sounds all right. It's like a snark round. Let's go. Flood the map with snarks. Love it. You got one more email here, Frank?
Yeah, Eric asked about browser-based games. What are your favorite browser-based games? Do any of you play Wordle or any litany of Wordle-like games that emerge in its wake, or any other modern browser games like GeoGuessr? And what were some of your favorites from the Flash era?
I recently got into browser stuff, but I'm trying to remember any of the games I played. I did this like maybe a month or two ago. I forget what was happening. There was something I was doing that I needed to be here, but I didn't need to give something all of my attention. So I was like, oh, is there a game I can play on the side? And none of them stuck, but I did play a bunch of stuff. Do you guys play anything? I played Wordle when it first came out for a while, but I played GeoGuessr. There's a couple
I love
of
GeoGuessr.
Yeah. It's really good fun.
I found one recently that I sent to every member of my family and made them play, and I'm struggling to remember what it was called. It was like God, I'll dig it up after the podcast because it's going to take me research to find. But it was like a 10 artifacts, historical artifacts, and it was a map and a timeline, and you had to look at the artifacts and identify what region of the world they're from and what period of time.
That's quite cool.
It's so good, and some of them are so fucking hard. One of them was like an onyx like cheese grater looking thing, and I was just like, I have no fucking idea. And it was like a bell from Africa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's fun because like I don't know. Sometimes you nail one, and you're like, how the fuck did I know that was like like an upper step artifact? I don't know. It's just fun to get right.
That's wild. There was one game I saw that I never heard of before called Crunker. I think it's crunker.io, and it's basically it's like a kind of looks like a Roblox first-person shooter. What was that game that came out like 2 years ago? It was Battlefield 3. We did a video on it. It was Battlefield. BattleBit. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's got a look of that in it, and you just play it on your browser. I remember we used to play Quake Live back in the day, browser-based Quake 3. That was good fun. Angry Birds. I guess Angry Birds was what it was. Trebuchet, I think it was called, or Castle Panic, I think was the Angry Birds original one. Sorry, what were we asking? BattleBit?
Oh no, Agar.io, the thing with the circles that eat each other. That's a good one.
Yeah, I forgot about that. What is that called again?
Agar.io.
AGAR?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. God, I haven't played that in a hot minute.
There's like a snake one too.
Oh yeah, of course there is.
Snake.io. Also, you know what I replayed after I interviewed Bryce Boer, because I was trying to remember the name of it in the middle of the interview and I couldn't, was Madness Interactive. Do you guys remember the Madness Flash games?
No.
Look up Madness Interactive. It's the dudes with like the plus sign face, and it was just yeah. It was like it started as just like an animated thing of a guy who's like fighting, and then it's like increasingly like Looney Tunes style, just gets more and more violent.
Yes.
So edgy.
Yeah, no, it
hey,
is
man.
like Y2K edgelord
back
shit.
in 2003, this shit hit.
Yeah, no, it was it's a little Columbine coded, I would say, but in in not such a horrible way.
Oh man.
But
Habbo Hotel.
Yep.
Remember that back in the day? That was pretty good fun. All those drug war games.
Fancy Pants.
What's Fancy Pants?
What's Fancy Pants?
You don't know what Fancy Pants is?
Nah.
No.
We played so many like games at school, like Indoor Recess, like Raft Wars, Impossible Quiz.
I remember Impossible Quiz. I do remember Fancy Pants. It's the little guy with the pants.
I think there's like a Steam remake. Happy Wheels.
Line Rider. Line Rider's a classic.
Were you a Club Penguin kid?
I was, yeah.
Was that okay?
A little bit of Webkins too. A little bit of Pop Tropica.
Pop Tropica. Is that another like browser-based MMO?
It's more single player. I think there's like rooms that other people are in, but it's kind of cool. Like you fly to different islands, and each island is like its own little story. Like it's kind of like more in depth, maybe. Like you make progress.
God, remember there was like I think we talked about this on the podcast a couple of years ago. There was like a game. Was it? Oh no, no, that's what it was. It was like a browser-based zombie survival game, and like it took place in a big city, and everyone was on the same. It was basically a MUD. It was like a multi-user dungeon but it was graphical. It was like top down, almost like a multiplayer version of what's that fantastic isometric systemic zombie game? Zomboid. Almost like a top-down version of Zomboid. Very similar, where you were like opening doors, rummaging through things. I forget what it was called. It was like Dead City or something like that. That was like the coolest one of those I think I ever saw, because like you could run into people. And there was like a vampire one as well, where you could like pick which type of vampire you were. and then like you have to hunt people down. It was like asymmetric, that was like it flipped on its head, where instead of the zombies attacking you, you were looking to try and harvest from people, but there were other zombies involved or vampires around. It's good stuff, man. Really good stuff.
You guys remember Boxhead?
No.
That
I
sounds
didn't
familiar.
until I just Googled zombie flash game to try and find what you were talking about, and instead I remembered Boxhead. It was like a top-down shooter.
Oh yeah,
This game was good.
Boxhead Immortal.
Bloxors.
Bloxors.
You can buy Boxhead Immortal on Steam for $5, but it's internet access and you haven't updated it in 2 years. So enjoy.
Yeah, that's all I got. It's hard to. I mean, there's like we've talked about a bunch. Like I'm not mentioning all the Pico games because we've talked about them a million times. But there's some.
Or all of itch.io, basically. You can run in your browser. It's good stuff, man. Video games. That's a podcast this week, folks. Go check out our latest Ralph Coster video. Ralph Coster, the latest member of our crew here at noclip. He just hosts all the videos now. No, another great video from Jeremy Jane, available on the noclip main YouTube channel. We also have a video from NoCaps, which should be up on noclip too by the time you're listening to this, all about detective games. Very, very cool. But our piece de resistance hitting the channel, which should be up again by the time you're watching this, is Frank Howley's Pinball Odyssey. Frank, tell us about this. It is a 32-minute documentary about... I adore this because it was both a video about you falling in love with pinball. It was a video about the recent resurgence in pinball, but it was also about pinball history, pinball board design, like pinball players' favorite games and licenses, and the different epochs of pinball, which I kind of have always understood that there were different eras, but like I didn't know anything about. Like I watched this for 32 minutes and I feel like I had been like, I know fucking drunken boxing and kung fu now, like in the Matrix. Like I sat down for a second and it just, now I get it. Now I understand. Tell us about this. You've been working on it for a couple of months.
Yeah,
now.
It's been a 3-month obsession. Sorry why I'm doing, because I'm like, I don't know when this is coming out. So if it's out, I'll be very excited. I told Jeff Gerstmann popped in my stream yesterday when I was watching WCW Thunder, and I was like, Jeff, I interviewed Steve Ritchie. The craziest thing is like we got Steve Ritchie, the voice of Mortal Kombat. I asked him about Mortal Kombat pinball. He says finish him in the video.
That blew my away.
We interviewed.
You didn't telegraph it. It just happens.
No,
I was like, what the fuck?
That's why this video kept stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking. So the fact that we have Steve, that's why I was saying like weeks ago, I teased, if I get this interview, this is incredible. We have a guy who's been designing pinball for 50 years, and he's just casually intermixed with like Jeff Gerstmann, cheap ass gamer, and it's like, yeah, I'm extremely proud of this. I'm so stoked on it. Again, like Danny and I were up in LA like the week I was getting into pinball, and I couldn't do my stream, so I was just like, well, shit, I'm just gonna go play every pinball in LA, and then. And then, like, yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, this is a history of pinball. I was watching even, like, a Japanese documentary in Japanese, and a guy says, like, oh, we're in the third boom of pinball. I'm like, well, I think we're in the fourth boom. But there is a new boom of pinball. And, yeah, and it's that's the thing I'm so eager for it to be out, because it's, like, there's rumors they're going to announce a Goonies table. Shit is constantly coming out, but,
well,
yeah.
you had all the Sonic table stuff was in this, where you interview him about that, like...
There's one of 6 of those tables out in the world. So Open Van Nuys is like a preview table. So like these are going to be hitting the stacks soon. But yeah, it's just a lot in here, and it's what my brain's been on for 3 months straight. And so now that it's done, I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing with my life now?
Right.
Tokyo Game Show. But yeah, I'm super proud of this. It's the longest one of these. It's 32 minutes. There's so much more stuff I interviewed, but I just had to cut because I think in my head I wanted it to be 30 minutes. So once I got around there, I'm like, all right, let me trim it. But yeah. Thank you for the space and for letting me make this. But yeah, I'm super stoked.
Oh, you killed it! That was the fastest 30 minutes of something I've watched in a long time. That was like, it was like nonstop. It's like nonstop, just like new person, new interesting aspect. And it was cool to learn about something that, like, like most people, I have played a pinball machine, but like I couldn't tell you diddly squat about it as an art form, which, considering we're all gamers and we know what it's like to play a game and to try and figure out a game and get good at a game and what makes different games different from each other. But if you're like me and you have no you've never given thought to pinball, this is the perfect video to like crack that open, I think, because it's so interesting how similar the two things are, and then also how different they are with, you know, the physical aspect of these games makes such a big difference. I love that you had a whole bit about whether, you know, the moral problem of tilting or lack thereof. It was very, very cool. But yeah, we'll be getting that out to folks real soon, and pimping it out for everyone. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. And yeah, if you have any interview, maybe we could do some extended stuff. Maybe you can get it out somewhere as well if we have any other bits and bobs. So thanks for that, man. Very, very cool stuff. We will be back next week. It'll be our last podcast of the month. And then we'll be into August, which is when all the crazy fun stuff happens. I'll also be at QuakeCon. I was about to say Gamescom. QuakeCon this year. Playing games, filming, doing a bunch of stuff. So if you're going to be there, I know some of our community are. I know I usually see Fat Mike out there and some other folks. So if you are, let us know. Give us a heads up. Give me a heads up on social media or on the Discord. Patreon.com/noclip if you have the time, money, or inclination. And of course, use offer code ZARBOMBA to get your free nuclear bomb popcorn bucket at your local AMC theater. That is our podcast. Take care, folks, and we'll see you next time. Bye.